off on just a regular piece of copy paper, and I'm using the Col-Erase pencils to sketch. And I think in this video, yeah, I'm just using the red one. And then I use the blue in a couple areas just to kind of touch up and clarify what I'm doing. And that's pretty much how I sketch all the time. Is I'll start with one color. Usually I start with blue, and then I'll use another color just to kind of refine, and that saves me time on erasing, and I really find it helpful. Then we're going to go to the light box, and we're going to copy that onto the watercolor paper. Again, just using the same Col-Erase pencils. I highly recommend, if you're going to be painting, not using a graphite pencil. I think that graphite in paint and graphite in markers and graphite in color pencils and graphite in basically anything other than graphite do not mix very well. Maybe ink is like the only exception to that rule, but if you're adding anything that has color, I think color pencil is a better way to put your drawing on the paper or the canvas or whatever you're doing for your guidelines. So doing that, taping it to a board. I'm using a paint palette here, which I usually use a like MDF chipboard, like clipboard, like a big art board. But it was too big for the frame of this video, so I had to kind of improvise, and I'm using this teeny little palettes, which I thought was kind of funny. And taping that on with just regular painter's tape, nothing fancy there. And then getting out the paints and ready to go. And I think painting is pretty much the bulk of this video. It's a long process. I think in real life it took me about 2 to 2.5 hours to finish. And I probably could have spent another half hour, 45 minutes on it, just refining some details, but I got a little impatient with myself. This was a little bit later at night, so that's the truth about that. So I always like to start with skin tone first, whether I'm painting or coloring anything that I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the skin tone first because I think it really establishes the tone of the other colors, and I think skin tone is the first thing that you see when you look at a piece of artwork. So it's extra important that you nail that color, and if you can't get the skin tone right, then you need to start over. That's what I tell myself anyway. So I'm really happy with how this tone came out. It's a really nice, warm, rich, like carameling color, and I think it's really pretty. So yeah, a lot of working on that. And then from there, I kind of just decided on a whim what colors to use. I didn't really have a good plan going in. So I decided to mix up a bunch of purple, and I just kind of went crazy with that. Ooh, and when I'm making the purple, you can also see I'm eating some jelly beans on the side. So it's kind of a fun detail. So yeah, I'm doing the purple paint, leaving space because I want to do some bright lines later. I wasn't sure what color. I was thinking blue, but I ended up doing pink. And then you'll see the technique of me kind of doing like a stippling to imply a sort of like a light galaxy-esque effect. It's not a full-on galaxy treatment. I think if I was going to do a real galaxy look, I would use a little bit of salt in my paint to add some more texture. But like I said, this is kind of playing around. It was late at night. I just wanted to kind of put something on paper. I just had that urge. So this is kind of like a practice play one. And yeah, I'm adding the pink outlines, I think, at this point, and just kind of finishing it up, throwing on a background. Not really sure how that background turns out. It got a little bit more watercolory than I think I would have wanted, but it's all good. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in this picture, I do have a couple of prints available in my shop, and you can check that out by following the link at the end of the video. So thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate it, and I hope you